Hey, what's happening, guys? Different kind of video today. I've been trying to leave the whole Elon Musk thing alone for a while now. Obviously, he's been the headline of just anywhere from just normal, regular morning news shows all the way up to like big commentary YouTube channels to everything in between. Everyone's talking about him, and I never really felt like it was necessary to weigh in on this. But as of today, I do kind of just want to lay it out there. What are my thoughts as an EV content creator? He, whether you like him or not right now, he still is, got to be to blame for the mainstream consumption of where we're at now with EVs. So I don't go into this video lighthearted, but I gotta say, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not feeling great about the guy, but let's talk about it. So if you haven't heard the latest, just the other day, Elon was brought up on stage by Dave Chappelle at a concert in San Francisco.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world.
Upon immediately being brought on stage, the crowd just erupts in boos. Which is, I thought, a little bit funny just because he was introduced as the richest man in the world, and just the ego and triumph that he thought he was going to go out and receive, and probably that he's used to at his, Tesla rodeo conventions and semi presentations, was the opposite of to the reception he found here.
Elon. Hey, Dave.
And you'd think it'd be the audience that would love him, right? It's Dave Chappelle, who's more of an edgy comedian, not within all like the realms of like woke liberalism or whatever you want to call it. I don't want to touch that part of this conversation, but you'd think he'd be accepted is what I'm getting at. And whether it's because it was in San Francisco where he is now deemed like one of the, well, take this in quotes, just not a great tech CEO anymore, at least with Twitter under his belt. Whatever it might be, he was not welcomed well. Dave quickly makes, I thought, a funny joke around like, oh, these must be the people you laid off at Twitter.
It sounds like some of them people you fired are in the audience.
Which I found very funny, and that just doesn't go well.
Awesome.
Don't say nothing. Okay. It'll only spoil the moment. Do you hear that sound, Elon? That's the sound of pending civil unrest.
It just continues to erupt, and it finally concludes with Elon trying to say Dave Chappelle's old television, catchline title card at the end of the show in the most awkward ending I've ever seen.
Crazy.
It was rough. That's all I got to say. And it's just the reason why this caused me to finally make a video about the subject is I think it kind of perfectly encapsulates the problem with where Elon's head's at right now. And I'll be the first to admit I was obsessed with the dude for the longest time. I mean, obviously I'm a huge EV nerd. I'm a Tesla guy. I'm officially driving a Tesla again, and I love it. I love my vehicle so much. And, SpaceX, all that stuff's so awesome. And Elon was this guy who was doing all these cool, really amazing things and, never took himself seriously. And every once in a while would kind of be the kind of funny guy online. And the context of him being funny, though, was always, wow, this millionaire genius or whatever you want to call him also can be silly. That's cool and likable. But his head's shift in the public eye so much to wanting to be that silly meme guy that it's hard to take any of the good things he's doing popular. Like, it's just, it drives me crazy because I feel like he's missing the point. Like, the online presence or Twitter presence he had that made him likable in the first place was only so well received because of everything else he was, and that this online persona of him was only like 5% of it. And he's now shifted it to like a 50-50 split. I mean, maybe even more if you consider the purchase of Twitter. And it's so hard to... It's taking over, and it's just not the part that we wanted him to lean into. It's the part that should have stayed consistent at like 5% or whatever, and the 95% of working on Tesla and SpaceX, and really maybe even trying to deliver on the things that people are waiting for, like a Roadster and a Cybertruck, maybe meeting with your teams on getting that stuff done, and never even touching Twitter in the first place. That would have been nice. I digress, though. In summary, I do want to, again, just mention, like, I think all of this just comes a place of disappointment. It's like watching someone who I liked a lot just totally, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong too, but I don't think I am. I think his priorities are off track, and I would be okay if he, designate, and there's got to be other people in charge. Obviously there are in Tesla and these other companies, but I'd appreciate if we shifted more of the attention on them. And if Elon wants to go off and do these things, like be an online personality or, online personality, whatever you want to call it. But if that's where his head's at, then, let him do that, but at least hand over the reins of the other things so we can get the ball rolling. Because, Tesla is on the precipice of like being... it just hit a record in EV deliveries and continues to set records. And if it wants to take over like it could, it needs to have strong leadership. And I hope it's still there. And, maybe I'm taking the bait on all this too. Maybe it's all just, what's the word? Like a false flag or something. I don't know, but what I do know is I hope things can brighten up here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please try to be nice. I know it's a hot button issue, but I've been thinking about it a lot, so I thought I'd put my thoughts into video here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really do appreciate it. We'll get back to the normal EV stuff. I promise this is a one-off video. But again, I just had to get my thoughts out there. So I'll end it here. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you soon. News sponsor alert. So before we get into this video, I do want to talk about my new friends at Liquid IV. As you can see, I've already opened and tried almost everything here. They reached out the other day and said, hey, would you like to try these and maybe put them in your video? And I was like, yeah, I do. So I was pretty excited for them to reach out, and I was like, technically they have nothing to do with the electric vehicles and stuff I talk about, but I'm really into like mountain biking, and it's great for after physical activity. I'd say there's a script and stuff probably that I'm supposed to read, but I'd rather just tell you my experience with it. Basically, I like how it tastes mostly, and it could even be in my head, but whatever it is, it's just like I feel better after having them. So I'm actually a big fan even before they reached out, and now they are, I'm talking about them in a video. So yeah, Liquid IV, if you haven't had it yet, give it a try. Acai berry, acai bowls, right? Acai berries. That one is pretty good. My wife likes that one. Classic lemon lime. That's my favorite, to be honest. It tastes like super Gatorade. These are also a new favorite. These are, what's their thing? Immune support. Basically same stuff. Their whole thing is like you drink one and it's like having 3 bottles of water instead of one. And I'm like, sure, why not? I will say if you have a heavy night of drinking, that's probably where these things, no, I'm not condoning that, but if you ever find yourself, maybe you're going to a bachelor party or something, that's where these things are clutch. You're gonna want to like pick up 2 or 3 of these and hand them out to the boys in the morning and be like, I got you, because I truly have seen the most effect from them there more than anything else. Anecdotally, of course. So I really like these ones. These are like a new called Energy Multiplier. 100 milligrams of caffeine. Can't complain about that if you want a little bit of both worlds. But, I'm just going to give you my fully honest opinion here. This was ginger lime, and I was like, I love ginger and I love lime, and I love them together. But this, honestly, I would just avoid this. At least straight up. I don't really like it that much. It's matcha is the main thing, and I'm not a big matcha man. I'm not a matcha. Never mind. So stupid. It's just kind of like a plant taste to me, but if you're into that, give it a try. These ones, though, boom. Anything citrusy, I really like. Anyways, that's all I'm going to talk about here. If you want it, use my code. If not, no sweat. But Liquid IV, it's here now.